Hi guys, welcome back to the Love Slay YouTube channel. Today I'm doing a review of the Friends and Makeup Revolution makeup palette, like the large eyeshadow palette. This collection came out with like loads of different things. They had like little mini palettes, lip glosses, lipsticks. I think they're all back in stock now, so I'll put some links below for like those products, but I thought I'd review the big palette because I feel like it's the best value for money. For like £20 you get 27 shades. I think that's just absolutely amazing. Yeah, I'm going to do a look with this palette and I'm going to sort of run you through the shades and I'll show you some swatches later on. So if that's something you're interested in, then please keep watching. Okay guys, I'm back. I've got my face on and I've done my eyebrows. I put like a light foundation on today because my skin is really bad, and I do think that's kind of, it's because I've been wearing like a lot of full coverage foundation at the moment, so I was like, I'm going a bit light, won't put a load of contour on, just a bit of blush. So yeah, I'll stop. Let me show you this palette. I love it because it actually folds all the way flat. You can literally have it like sitting flat on a desk, which I think is absolutely perfect. It's a bit messy, I apologise because I haven't been using it, but here is the palette. So as you can see, there's like loads of shades in here. I mean, I love the fact that they've got like the bright orange, they've got the blue, they've got pinks, they've got almost like everything. There's also a lot of shimmers in here, which is lovely. I think putting a shimmer all over the lid on a day where you're just sort of going to work can be really, really nice. I've been digging into this palette a lot since I've got it, hence why it's so messed up at the moment, because I've literally used it like every day since I've got it. And these three shades in the middle are lovely highlighters. This one particularly is lovely on my skin tone, but I enjoy the fact they've got a lighter one and a sort of deeper gold one. So I'm going to stop waffling about the palette and I will dig into some of the shades and show you. So first I'm going to take the colour Carol, which is this brown shade here, and I'm going to just pop that through my crease. I was going to do two different eyes like I did last week, but I think I'm just going to do one sort of more cohesive look just so you can see what it looks like all finished. I've just put excess foundation on my lids. I haven't put a primer or anything. That's like all the priming I've done, if that makes sense. If you can hear my neighbour shouting in the background, I'm sorry. She shouts at a dog every day. My dog is an angel. He just sits and listens. So I just want this colour really like just to put in the crease just so the other shades blend out nicely. So I dipped in a few times to that shade, but it's just a nice light transition shade, so I was sort of just building it up as I went. I didn't want it to be too deep, but I think that looks quite nice. The next colour I'm going to take is the colour Phoebe, which is this beautiful bright orange here. I absolutely love it. I think I've used it every day so far. So I'm just going to grab that shade and I'm just going to pop that here on the inner and outer corner. And I posted this look on our Instagram on Sunday, ready for this video to go out. I'm doing my usual halo eye, which is the go-to look that I do for eyeshadows, just because I know that that works for my eyelids, so it really helps me test, because it's sort of a tried and true method for me to apply eyeshadow. It lets me really see whether I like the eyeshadows or not. I think it's always worth having that sort of go-to like eyeshadow shape. It's like the most beautiful like hot orange colour. Oh, it looks really cute on camera too. It looks brighter on camera than it does in real life actually. Slightly more like a rusty colour in real life. And now I'm just going to take the shade Ben, which is this very cool toned brown here, and I'm just going to blend out that shadow with that colour. You see that makes a difference, it just makes it look a little bit less harsh. And that really works with this muted colour I've found over the last couple of days. I found that this Ben shade really really helps blend those colours, because it sort of mutes the colour and blends it into the skin. It might just be my perfect sort of blending transition shade, which is nice to find. It's nice to have a a shade that you like. I'm just going to deepen the inner and outer corner, or maybe just the outer corner slightly, with the shade Mr. Geller. I found that this shade isn't quite as pigmented as you'd want, but it works, if that makes sense. When you look at it, it's buildable. When you blend it, it sort of blends out a lot, which can be quite good for some people if they're that maybe are afraid to make their eyeshadow slightly too dark. This is sort of like a saving grace for that. It really is. It just blends out really well. I mean, for me, I'm very much like, once I put the colour down, I want the colour to stay, but that's a personal preference, so obviously that might be different for you. So this is the look so far. It's just very simple, like orange halo, and now I'm going to take the colour Fun Bobby, which I love, this colour here. It's kind of not showing up on camera, but it's like a really shiny copper, and I'm just going to pop that on my lid. Can you see that? It's so pretty. Baby wipe to clean my finger off. I'm just going to grab the brush. I'm just grabbing this brush that I used to put on Mr. Geller. I'm just going to blend the edges ever so slightly. I'm going to grab the brush that I used to put on the shade Phoebe, and I'm just going to run that under the lower lash line. It just pulls the bottom and top lid together and makes it one cohesive look. I love this orange. I love this. Amazing. So I think that's all of the eyeshadow that I'm going to put on for now. I'm going to do some eyeliner and my mascara, and I'll come back to show you the highlighter because it is beautiful. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I've put on some lip gloss, I've done some Twiggy-esque eyeliner and a big wing just because I fancied it and I thought it looked fun. I'm going to now jump in and do some swatches, and then once I've done swatches I'll put on some highlighter to show you what the highlighter looks on the skin. Before we get started, this is my swatch arm. I just wanted to address this bad boy. I had a fight with a bucket and lost, so I have a huge green bruise. Please just ignore that while we swatch. Okay, so here we've got the colour Ross, the colour Chandler, we've got the colour Joey, we've got the colour Monica, we have the colour Rachel, and we have the colour Phoebe, which of course I used on my eyes today. Okay, next row down, starting from the bottom, we have Gunther. The next shade, that orangey shade, is Janice, which I think is absolutely beautiful. Then we have the shade Carol, which I used in my crease today. Then the next one up, we've got the shade Ben. Next we have the shade Emma. And lastly we've got this icy gold colour called Richard. Okay, this next row, which is a very vibrant, lovely row, we have the shade Emily. We then got that beautiful blue, the shade Ursula. Then we've got Mr. Geller, which is the brown that I used to deepen my outer corner. Then we have the strange shade Mrs. Geller, which is absolutely gorgeous. But if I jump to the pan quickly and show you, it has gone slightly strange in the pan. I don't know if that's really coming across on camera, but sort of here's the other shimmers that I've swatched. And then Mrs. Geller. But yeah, so next to Mrs. Geller we have the shade Julie. And then last we've got a really true gold, which is the shade Barry, and it's actually very bright looking at it. Just a quick note, so as you can see here I've got a little bit of staining now from the shade Emily. I do know that a couple of these shades are pressed pigments. I will pop somewhere on screen which ones are pressed pigments, but yeah, as you can see Emily has actually stained my arm. Okay, probably my favourite row now. These are beautiful gold and orangey colours. I think they're absolutely beautiful. So first we've got the shade Marcel at the bottom. Then we've got the shade Paolo. Then we have the shade Fun Bobby, which was the one that I put on my lid. Then we have the shade Mike. Next we have the shade Mindy, which was another contender to potentially put on the lid. And then lastly we've got the gold at the top called Frank. Okay, and to finish off we have the highlighting shades. So first we have at the bottom Ugly Naked Guy. which I really enjoy that name. Then we have Mr. Heckles, and at the top we've got Estelle. Okay, so swatch is done. I'm going to pop on some highlighter for you. I'm going to take the shade Mr. Heckles, this one in the middle. I'm just going to dip in my brush and pop that here. Oh, so pretty. I absolutely love this highlighter. I would put it on my forehead, but my fringe is in the way. Okay, so I think that's it. I think I'm all done. I'm going to give you my final thoughts on the palette, which surely you already know. I absolutely love it. This is a palette that I'm definitely going to reach for all the time. It's going to be in my main kit all the time. I just love it. There is so much that you can do with this palette. You could do like a really neutral look with a pop of colour, or you could do a really bright look like I've done today. There is just so much. There's so many shimmers. There's lovely, lovely matte shades. They're all so nice. They're really nice to work with. They're not chalky. The only one that I have a problem with, as I've mentioned in the swatches, is Mrs. Geller. This is the only one that when you sort of dig into the pan, it just goes a little bit flat. I think it's just been packed quite hard, which, I mean, it does happen with eyeshadows. And for £20, for a massive palette of 27 shades, you just can't complain. It's perfect. It's literally perfect. So, as always, this palette is on Love to Slay now. I believe it's up for 2,600 Slaybucks, so if you've got those, I've popped a link in the description below, which will take you straight to that, so you can get that for free with all your Slaybucks. If not, I will pop another link just to the Makeup Revolution site where you can buy this for £20. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was quite a fun one for me to do, other than the fact I've had to film it twice, but I can't complain. I got to dig into this palette again, which I absolutely love. So we've got some really exciting videos coming up soon. We've got a mascara review, and we've also got a unboxing of a subscription box, a new beauty subscription box. So yeah, make sure you keep your eyes peeled, make sure you subscribe, click the link to get notified every time we post. Yeah, I mean, I think that's it for today. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.